Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is part 12 of Yin and Yang. Enjoy. Ojiro and you did talk on the trip up to the mountains, like what Mina saw, but things were a little awkward, both of you tripping over your own words. You still felt a little weak around him, but just kept reminding yourself that it wasn't going to be like this forever because you were about to level up, and that he was going through the same thing as you. So you tried not to think about it too much. It was an hour-and-a-half trip to the cabins, and the bus pulled up to the stop with a lurch, slowly rumbling the engine down until it stopped. "We're here," Ojiro said, looking past you out the window and leaning over towards you a bit to see better. It was a very picturesque scene out the window, but you couldn't take your mind off him leaning over you a little, and your poor heart was having trouble pumping oxygen around your body. Your tail reacted to your stress and whipped out from behind you, snaking over your shoulder and fanning out before pushing Ojiro's face into the back of the seat in front of you. "Yin?" he asked from behind your tail. Keep back," you stammered, shifting away from him a bit. "Sorry, Everyone off," Aizawa's tired voice called, and slowly everyone started to move. Ojiro managed to get out of his seat and away from your tail, but also stood in the aisle and gestured for you to come out while he held those up behind him so that you could walk out ahead of him. Sheepishly you complied, using your tail to grab your bag from the overhead locker and holding it as you walked off the bus. Ojiro saw what you had done and did the same with his tail, proudly walking off behind you, holding his bag the same as yours. After a brief introduction and itinerary rundown from Aizawa, you were directed to your dorms and left to set up for a few minutes before the first of the training would begin. "Whoa, I still get reception here," Kaminari said with delight as he jumped up onto a rock out the front of the boys' dorm. "Yeah, boy, I got 45 likes for the bus selfie post." "That's great," Karishma said brightly as he passed the still rock-perched blonde, walking up the steps into the log cabin. "Hey, Bakugo, come and take a selfie with me," Kaminari called to the stalking explosive blonde as he marched towards him. "In your dreams, dunce face," Bakugo snapped as he stalked past, heading into the cabin to get a good bed spot, hopefully near Karishma. "Boo, no fun," Kaminari sulked, looking around and spotting you as you followed the girls into the log cabin beside theirs. "Hey, Yin!" he shouted to you, waving as he jumped off the rock. "Let's take a selfie! For good luck!" "A what?" you asked as he approached you. You were still a little wary of him, but Ojiro had said that he was okay, so he must be alright. "A picture," Kaminari beamed. "I'm going to post it on Insta." "A picture? You want to take a picture with me?" you asked with surprise. Okay then." You gingerly stepped up next to him and stared into the camera. "You got a smile," Kaminari said as he lifted the phone up higher and then threw his arm around your shoulders and winked while pulling the peace sign with the arm that was wrapped around your shoulders. He took the picture just before his whole body was lifted into the air and thrown clean across the yard back to his cabin. The sound of him hitting the ground brought the boys back out of their cabin, and they came out to see him trying to lift himself up off the ground, coughing and wheezing as he got himself up on his knees. "Bro, what?" Kiri gasped, running down to help him. "What happened?" Shoji asked as he stepped out. Ojiro wasn't far behind him and stepped out as well, and then looked to his left. You were standing there looking a little stunned, and he came over to ask if you were okay as you looked a little shaken. "Yin, are you alright? What happened?" he asked gently. I didn't like him being so close, but I didn't mean to throw him so far. Sorry," you said in a stiff manner. This was all new to you. He hadn't tried to hurt you or anything, but you still weren't used to anyone getting close to you. "It's okay. Are you okay though?" Ojiro asked gently. You nodded. "Come, you can explain yourself to Kaminari. I'll be there too," he said with a smile and a small tail wag. You nodded again and slowly walked over to the group of boys around Kaminari. Sorry," you said to Kaminari, who was standing again now and being dusted down by Kiri. "Hey, all good. That's a good throw you got there. Jeez," Kaminari coughed out. I didn't mean to scare ya." "You didn't scare me. I didn't like it when you put your arm around me." "He hugged you?" Ojiro asked with surprise, looking from you to Kaminari. Nah, man. It wasn't like that. I wanted to take a selfie with Yin, but I didn't. I just wanted it to look natural, so I put my arm around her shoulder to show that we're friends, but I shouldn't have just done it without warning. Sorry," he said with a sheepish scratch to the back of his head, still coughing a little. "Just don't touch her, okay, Kaminari?" Ojiro said, a strange look crossing his face, but Kaminari knew exactly what was going on and apologised again. Nah, man, I'm sorry. It wasn't like that, I promise. I'm not trying to, it's all good. I won't do it again. Ojiro relaxed, and so did you. Okay, that's settled then. Do you want me to walk you to your cabin, Yin? Ojiro asked you. No, it's okay. It's just there, you said, pointing at the cabin, and also noting your bag had been dropped on the ground during the ordeal. Okay, he nodded, watching you as you walked off. Then he looked back to Kaminari. Bro, I'm sorry. I wouldn't try and muscle in on your turf, yeah? Kaminari apologised to Ojiro again as the others headed back to the cabin. But you should definitely try and tell her how you feel this camp. I have a feeling it's going to be a good weekend. We'll see, Ojiro replied as he smiled at Kaminari and then headed back to the cabin. The blonde had managed to hold his phone during his sudden flight and looked down at it to make sure it was okay. It was, so he unlocked it to see the picture of him and you. It was the perfect picture. You both looked really good in that shot. Oh man, it's too good not to post this, he said softly as he got back up on his rock and held the phone up to the sky to make sure he had maximum reception. And, he muttered, post. He smiled when he saw it had been added, and almost immediately he got a like. Oh hey, he said excitedly as he pulled the phone down and smiled at the screen. Minetta just liked my picture. Oh no is correct. I can hear you all groaning. The villain of the story has just been revealed. I'll see you next Wednesday.